Yes, good evening, everyone.
Good
I
evening,
hope
sir.
that my voice is clear to all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So today we will be starting with a very simple concept which every one of us is aware of, and that concept is related to personality. Now, every one of us have heard this term personality right from our childhood. In schools, in colleges, everywhere we often hear this term personality. So now in today's session, we will try to understand what exactly the term personality means. So as everyone is aware of the meaning of personality, we will first start with the background of your historical background of personality, how this term personality was introduced. So the term personality is derived from the Latin word persona. This Latin term used to denote the masks worn by the actors in ancient Greece and Rome. The translation of this word is to speak through. Now, this historical background of personality itself makes the term very clear that what is personality. Yes, anyone who would like to try what is personality? We will not go to the technical definition given by various psychologists or various OB authors, what it means. In simple words, what does personality mean? Yes, because in the later part, we will be discussing about Johari window and transactional analysis. I hope that everyone has come prepared for the session for these two concepts, because during our last session, we were discussing about the foundations of organizational behavior or the evolution of organizational behavior. We had discussed certain models of OB2. At that time, we had discussed that in the coming lecture, we will try to understand the concepts called as transactional analysis and Johari window. Plus, we will also try to see how these concepts are implemented in the organization to study the human behavior. Actually, practically, these concepts are implemented in the organization to understand the human behavior of employees, particularly in multinational companies. Not all, but many multinational companies, these companies are implementing in practice, in practical, these models or these concepts that we are going to discuss in the later part of the session. Yes, what is personality? Very simple, and everyone has heard of this word, personality. Yes.
Personality means quality. आणि
What quality?
What quality? 1 minute. जरा 5 मिनिटांनी आहे. Personality means quality, and people like the personality to feel, and those people personality act because it's attractive and good personality.
Okay, so that is correct, very correct, that we normally as human being get attracted towards great personalities, right? Now cricketers or film stars or celebrities or great politicians or great leaders, normally we tend to get attracted towards their personality. We feel that, wow, what a personality that person is having. But what does that personality mean? Is it mean that the outer appearance of the person can be called as personality? The person, if we talk about a girl, that a girl who is fair, slim, and have a good height can be called a very good personality girl. If we talk about boy, a handsome, tall, then good, well built, a boy is called as, can we call that particular boy a boy with a great personality? Can we say that the outer appearance of the person is called as personality? तो जो बहुत सुंदर है उसकी पर्सनालिटी बहुत अच्छी, जो उतना सुंदर नहीं है उसकी पर्सनालिटी थोड़ी कम अच्छी. ऐसा है क्या पर्सनालिटी?
Sir,
Yes.
hello sir.
Yeah.
The personality includes the good communication skills and
Okay.
proper body language,
Very good.
then eye
Very good.
contact, and effective communication done, like this
Yes.
qualities.
And sir, the most important, how he or she will treat another person.
Very good. Very good. Anything else? So everything is correct. Yes. Anything else? So what you have shared now is they are not related to the outer features or outer appearance of the person. It is related to the inner qualities of the person, how the person is treating with others, or how the person behaves with other, how if the person gives respect to the others. All these are called as inner qualities. So in simple word, we can say that personality is a concept which includes both inner and outer appearance of the person. So it is not only concentrated to the outer appearance of the person, how the person looks, but his inner qualities are most important of personality. As in this particular slide, you can see that the Latin term used to denote the masks worn by the ancient actors, by the actors in ancient Greece and Rome. At that particular time, when females were not allowed to play various roles in theater, or their work was not at all accepted by the society at that particular time, male performers used to wear the mask of females, or they used to wear the mask to show different emotions which were involved in that particular scene. Same is the case in real world also, that how we react to a particular situation, how we are from inside, that is the main part of personality. And the lesser part of personality is our outer appearance. We cannot say that outer appearance is totally neglected. Yes, of course, it is included in personality, but it is not to the extent to which inner qualities are included. So inner qualities plays a major role when we compare to the outer qualities of the person. So that was related to personality. Everyone is aware of these things. Now we will talk about the determinants of personality, how the personality is developed. What are the determining factors which develop our personality? These factors can vary. The general factors we have included here. It is not that for everyone's personality, only these 5 determinants are there, which has contributed to the personality of each and every person. But these are the general factors, we can say, or general determinants, which are contributing towards the development of personality to a major part of population. So first one, hereditary. So heredity, what do you mean by hereditary? Everyone is aware of now. Yes, what is hereditary?
Anuvanshikta.
Anuvanshikta, very good. So hereditary means the features, the characteristics, the genes which we are directly getting from our parents or from our grandparents or from our great grandparents. These things are called as hereditary. So something is inborn. Some features of our body are inborn. Now, these features are not in our hands. A person is born tall. A person is born short. A person is born fair. A person is born dark. So skin color, height of a person, these characteristics or these features of a human being are called as hereditary, where we do not have any control. Now we often see the advertisement of fairness creams, but in reality, everyone is aware of that a dark person, no matter how costly cream he is applying or she is applying on the face, but still the dark person cannot be converted into a fair person. That is the reality. Because these are the characteristics, these are the features which have come to us through heredity, through our parents. We are born with it. Suppose if I am dark, no matter how much costly I apply that fairness cream to my face, it is not going to change the color of my outer appearance. It will remain dark. But there are certain things which are in our hands, which we can work upon to frame our personality. That we are going to discuss. So hereditary are the characteristics where we do not have any say, where it is not under our control. We are directly getting from our parent. A child gets it from the parents. So these characteristics are hereditary. Next one is culture. Now, once a child is born, we often hear that man is also called as a social animal, because we cannot live alone. We live in a family. We live in a society. We live in a social system. We live with other people. As we live in a society with other people, these people definitely have a say in framing our personality. Because a small child, he gets very easily affected with others. And that is where culture plays a major role in defining our personality. If open culture is there in our family, then there are more chances that the child, when that child will grow, the child will be more of extrovert in nature. But if our family culture is very closed, it is strictly controlled by our parents or our grandparents, then there are more chances that when we grow, we will tend to be of introvert in nature. So this is how culture plays an important role. Now, culture often plays a role in the family also, because we belong to a family, and family major the number or group of families, they belong to a particular culture. If we talk about culture on the basis of religion, the culture, Hindu culture is different from Muslim culture. Muslim culture is different from the Sikh culture. Sikh culture is different from Parsi culture. So these culture wise, if there are certain differentiations, if we talk about the Hindu culture, it gives some sort of freedom to the children, particularly girl child, some sort of freedom. If we talk about the Muslim culture, then they are very strict when we talk about the girl child. Still that culture plays a significant role. Still, large number of the population, they restrict the education of girl child after primary level or after secondary level. That is, after 7th, 8th, or maybe 10th, the girl child education is restricted in those families. When we talk about Hindu culture, it is more open than Muslim culture. But when we talk about the culture that is there in the Christian families, then it is more open than the Hindu family. So these type of cultures, which we often find in our family right from our childhood, definitely plays a role in shaping our personality. Personality is not a term which can be created over a night. It's a term which we can say it takes time to develop the personality of an individual, of a person. So right from the childhood, if the child is not allowed to ask questions, when the child goes to the class or goes to the school or goes to the college also, the child hesitate to ask question. Why? Because since childhood, it has been taught to the child that you need to follow the instructions of the elder. Elders are the people who know everything. You cannot question their instructions. If such is the situation, if such is the culture in the family, then it becomes difficult for the child, when the child grows, to ask questions during the sessions also, or ask questions in the life also. So that is how the culture plays a role in developing our personality. So if we are from the open culture, then the personality is developed differently. But if we are from the say another culture or closed culture, then our personality is developed in some other direction. So that is the role of culture. Now the role of family that we have just discussed, that if the family is a very open-minded family, then there are more chances that the child will be extrovert. If the family is very closed family with a set of discipline or very strict discipline or very strict rules, then the child, there are more chances that the child will be introvert. We are saying more chances because when we are talking about human being, when we are talking about human personality, when we are talking about the organizational behavior, so the moment we include human being, we cannot give a direct say that yes, this determinant will result in this type of personality only. Here, when it is related to human being, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 is not implemented. In American school also, it is taught that 2 plus 2 is equal to 2. And in our ZP school also, it is taught that 2 plus 2 is 4. But when we talk about human beings, we cannot be 100% sure that yes, if this type of culture is there, then the development of personality will result into extrovert only. So here we can say yes, more are the chances that this could be the personality. Why we are saying this? Because we are dealing with human beings, we are dealing with human behavior. Now the next one is the social determinant. Now social determinant means the society, the locality in which we are living from childhood often plays an important role in developing our personality. It is always said that if you get the company of a good person, then definitely you will grow in your life. But if you are in the bad company, then there are more chances that you will not be able to succeed in life, because the people who are with you have a say in your personality also. Because it is not only the family where you are spending time, but since childhood, you are also spending time in the locality, in the society where you are living. So if you are connected with good people, your thoughts will be good. Your attitude will be positive. But if you are connected with not so good people or bad people, then your thoughts will be like that only. Because we are social, we cannot live alone. अगर मैं अच्छे दोस्तों के साथ रहता हूं, मेरे सारे दोस्त अच्छे हैं या ज्यादातर दोस्त अच्छे हैं, तो ज्यादा चांसेस है कि मेरी सोच भी उन्हीं की तरह अच्छी रहेगी. पर अगर मेरा जो फ्रेंड सर्कल है वो खराब है या थोड़ी बुरी सोच वाले हैं, उनके साथ मेरी संगत है, तो ज्यादा चांसेस हैं कि कुछ दिन के पश्चात मैं भी उन्हीं के जैसा हो जाऊंगा. So apart from hereditary, these other outer determinants which are not hereditary, which can be worked upon, these are all apart from hereditary important determinants which determine our personality. मैं गोरा हूं या काला हूं ये मेरे हाथ में नहीं है, पर मैं अच्छे फ्रेंड्स के साथ रह सकता हूं ये मेरे हाथ में. मैं अच्छे कल्चर में रह सकता हूं. जब तक हम बचपन में हैं, जब तक हमें पता नहीं है, जब तक हमें सोचने की समझने की क्षमता नहीं है, तब तक yes, we are getting affected by others. But the moment we are grown up and we know what is good and what is bad, at that time the social factors or the society or the locality where we live or the friends whom with we mingle, these definitely plays a very important role. And the next determinant is called as situational. Situational characteristics or situational determinant or situational, sometimes a situation also turns your personality. ऐसी सिचुएशन हो जाती है कि हमारी पर्सनालिटी पूरी तरह से टर्न हो जाती है. There are various examples. We often hear that no one is a born offender. Situation makes the person react like that or behave like that. कोई भी पैदा बुरा इंसान नहीं होता. वो सिचुएशन, वो माहौल ऐसा होता है, उस वजह से वो व्यक्ति वैसा हो जाता है. And that is called as situation. Here you can make or break your personality. बहुत प्रेशर का सिचुएशन था, घर में प्रॉब्लम्स चल रहे थे, फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम हुआ, किसी की तबीयत घर में खराब हुई, और जो घर में बच्चे हैं या घर में जो भी लोग हैं दूसरे, वो अगर ये संकल्प कर लेते हैं कि हम लोग बहुत हार्ड वर्क करेंगे और अच्छे से मेहनत करेंगे और इस सिचुएशन को हरा के दिखाएंगे, अगर ऐसा होता है तो देयर आर मोर चांसेस दैट दे आर गोइंग टूवर्ड्स द राइट पर्सनालिटी. और बहुत ज्यादा चांसेस हैं कि आज नहीं तो कल उनकी पर्सनालिटी बहुत ज्यादा डेवलप होगी एंड दे विल बी ऑफ ग्रेट पर्सनालिटी. ऑल द ग्रेट पर्सनालिटीज, आप ज्यादातर ग्रेट पर्सनालिटीज आप जो भी लेंगे, वो ग्रेट पर्सनालिटीज कैसे हुए? वो सिचुएशन को हरा के ग्रेट पर्सनालिटी. Now, many of you might have read Wings of Fire. It was on our late president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. There, you might have observed that how hard the person has worked, and then he became a great personality. Just try to understand a child who is waking up at 3 in the morning, taking bath with cold water, and then going to his teacher for tuition. After tuition, he is helping his father in distribution of newspapers. Then he used to help his father for his pawn shop also. And then he used to go to the school, study there. Again, after coming back, he used to help father. Then he used to study till late night. Again, 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, he used to wake up. So such type of hard work done by a child, then that child was converted into a great personality like Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. It is not that for over a period of time, you just have, people often say that if we think positive, everything will be positive. This is half true, half truth. Yes, if we think positive, things are going to change positively. But for that, thinking is not at all sufficient. You have to act positively to achieve that dream. You take any personality. If we admire some personality, just try to understand how hard they have worked to achieve that tag of great personality. Any personality you take. If you take the personality of Mr. Ratan Tata, if you have read the autobiography of Mr. Ratan Tata, then you will understand that son of one of the richest family in the country, son of one of the richest family in the country, So financially, he was very sound. We can say that he was a person who was born with golden spoon in mouth. Everything was there, but he has to struggle for success. He had studied in foreign universities, top business schools of the world. But when he came back, he thought that he will be directly starting as an executive with the Tata Group of companies. But what role was given by the father to Mr. Ratan Tata? For months and months together, the father has told Mr. Ratan Tata that he need to sit outside the cabin of MD, and that too on a stool where the attendant used to sit. And he has to just mark the people who are coming to meet the MD. And he used to coordinate that work. Remember the person who is born in one of the richest family in the country, who has studied in foreign universities, he has done that particular job. And after that, when he was shifted inside the office, he was first given the clerical type of jobs that just maintain the record of visitors who are coming to meet your MD, and just try to observe how the MD is working, how the MD is behaving with his clients. So he has also worked very hard to be that great personality. We take any example. If we talk about, say, Shah Rukh Khan, Amitabh Bachchan, Sachin Tendulkar. Sachin Tendulkar in an interview has shared that he used to travel for at least 2 hours every day to reach the cricket stadium for practice. Same is the case with MS Dhoni or any film star you take. So this situation plays a very important role. There are two chances, or there can be, say, two things. One, you can beat the situation, or situation can beat. These great personalities have beaten the situation. उन्होंने situation के ऊपर मात की, इसीलिए वो वहां तक पहुंचे. मिसाइल मैन ऐसे ही इतना बड़ा उनको क्या बोलेंगे स्टेटस नहीं मिला है. He was a person who used to work more than 20 hours a day. We cannot imagine also. And because of that, the person has become the missile man of India, or a great personality. So these are some of the determinants which frame our personality. So only one is, which is called as hereditary, where we cannot have a say, but in rest, definitely in culture, in family, when the child is very small, the child is having a very small say or no say at all. He has to follow the instructions of the elders. But as and when the child grows, when he mingles socially, and when he faces situation, that is the turning point. And that is a point where your culture and family comes into picture. We often hear, हम लोग बहुत सुनते हैं ना कि अपब्रिंगिंग अच्छा होना चाहिए. जिसका अपब्रिंगिंग अच्छा होता है वो बहुत अच्छा व्यक्ति, उसका व्यक्तिमत्व, उसकी पर्सनालिटी बहुत अच्छी होती है. ये हम लोग बहुत सुनते हैं. तो ये सही है, गलत नहीं. If our family values are good, if our cultural values are good, that we are going to discuss after this concept, that values, beliefs that we will be discussing. So value, अगर हमारे को बचपन से सिखाया गया है कि ऑनेस्टी इज द हार्ड वर्क, बचपन में स्कूल में भी हम लोग यही सुनते थे कि ऑनेस्टी, कि हमेशा सच बोलना चाहिए, झूठ नहीं बोलना चाहिए. तो अगर किसी बच्चे को बचपन से अपब्रिंगिंग में ही ये सब सिखाया जाता है, ये वैल्यूज सिखाए जाते हैं, तो देयर आर मोर चांसेस दैट ही विल डेवलप अ गुड पर्सनालिटी. जो सिचुएशन आएगी वहां पर वो जरूर उस सिचुएशन को ओवरकम करके जाए. रतन टाटा को क्यों ये सब करना पड़ा? Because his father, his family wanted to develop that value. Value of what? Value of human beings. That no job is smaller. Every job should be treated with respect. Every person, no matter the person is MD or the last level employee of the organization, that employee should be treated with dignity. And to develop, to inculcate this value, Mr. Ratan Tata has worked for 2-3 years in the organization on small positions. And later on, he was promoted to the position of chairman. And that was the reason. I don't know how many of you have read or not, that about Ratan Tata, it is said that he is so down to earth and he is what we can say, that he mingles with all the employees. All the employees means not only the top employees of the company, but the lowest level of the employees also. There was an instance which was reported by Times of India, I think 1 or 2 years back. There was an article in Times of India which stated that after retirement, when he went to Tata Motors factory just for a casual visit, there he could name certain employees, or he could name certain employees, or he called certain employees with their names. So remember, a person who controls a largest conglomerate of the country, or we can say it is one of the largest conglomerate of the world, is able to recall the names of machine operators who are working at a very lower level. He called them with their names. So that is called as personality. That he has derived from the culture or from the values that his family possessed. That you have to respect each and every person. He was having respect. That is why he could recall those employees with their names. And he was meeting them after a period of around 30 years. शायद जब वो नए एम्प्लॉइज ज्वाइन हुए थे, उसके बाद ये उनकी मीटिंग थी, जहां पर उन्होंने वो 20, 25, 30 साल पहले के एम्प्लॉय को उनके नाम से बुलाया. A former employee of Tata's was not feeling well, so he personally visited that. He used to personally visit that particular families. Now, very important instance I would like to share, because these things we should be aware of. Now, everyone is aware of what happened in the country when that Taj terror took place. terrorist attack on Taj Mahal Hotel. You will, if you just Google these, that the terrorist attack of Taj Mahal, or how the Tatas reacted to that attack, you will be surprised to know that how great the person is. Now, this particular, what we can say, that this attack, after this attack, there were parties going on in Taj Mahal Hotel. There were hundreds of guests. I'm not able to recall how many guests were there, 800 or how many. So figure I'm not aware of, or I could not recall. In the article I had read that there were hundreds and hundreds of these guests were there. Parties were going on. There was an official party of Hindustan Unilever top executives going on when this attack took place. And to the surprise of all, most of the casualty which took place because of the fire, आग लग गई ना उसमें, पूरे होटल में आग लग गई, गोलियां चली, होटल में आग लगी. तो सबसे बड़ा सरप्राइज जो था कि ज्यादातर जो कैजुअलिटीज हुई, ज्यादातर जो मौतें हुई, वो होटल के जो एम्प्लॉई थे, स्टाफ थे, उनकी हुई, गेस्ट की नहीं. A worker, an employee who is working in the hotel for years together and who is aware of all the exits, who is aware of the emergency exit too, who knows that in case of fire, which emergency exit is the safest route for him. Whereas the guest who had come for the first time to have dinner or to enjoy party, they were not at all aware of the safest exit in case of fires. They were not aware. So it was at that time the employees first rescued their guests to the from the safest exit, emergency exits. And while rescuing the guests, most of the employee, they succumbed to their fire burns. So that was when this news came out in print media, that the casualty was more of the staff than the guests. Then there were various studies conducted that how it was possible that an employee who is aware of all the safe exit, he is not going from the hotel, he is not using that emergency exit, but he is guiding the guest to use that emergency exit, and he is making sure that all the guests shall pass that emergency exit, and after that he is using that emergency exit. And because of that, he is unable to use that exit, and he has succumbed to the injury also. अगर हम लोग फ्लाइट में भी जाते हैं तो फ्लाइट में अनाउंसमेंट होती है कि इन केस ऑफ एनी इमरजेंसी फर्स्ट सेव योरसेल्फ एंड देन सेव अदर्स. ऐसी इमरजेंसी हर जगह फ्लाइट में होती है. पर यहां पर ऐसा उदाहरण देखने को मिला कि पहले मेरे गेस्ट जाएंगे, बाद में मैं जाऊंगा. नहीं गया तो भी चलेगा, पर पहले वो जाने चाहिए. When these things were released in the print media, the top business schools of the world, Oxford, Harvard, Yale, various universities have conducted a case study on this particular topic, that how it is possible that a person in such a situation also, without saving his or her life, is saving the life of an unknown person. The guest is not the relative of the employee. The guest is not known to the employee. They are coming there for the first time, and still the employee have treated them like their family, and they made sure that their guests are first shown the exit doors, and then they will leave the or then they will use the exit doors. तो ऐसा क्या था उनकी इसमें, और जो कंक्लूजन थे उसमें ये पता चला कि जो कल्चर था टाटा ग्रुप ऑफ कंपनीज का या उस होटल का, वहां पर सिर्फ बोला नहीं जाता अतिथि देवो भव. It is totally implemented in the hotel. So the person who joins that hotel is given that particular thing, and he inculcates that concept, Atithi Devo Bhava. Guest is like God to me, or he is or she is God to me. So first I'll save my God, and then if the time permits, if the situation permit, then I'll save myself. And that is how a situation can change your personality. That was the best example. And the thing is not over yet. It is not that the case ended here. We are talking about the case study. For more than a year, when the renovation was going on, when the hotel was not into business, the guests were not allowed, the hotel was closed. At that time, why Mr. Ratan Tata is called as one of the finest businessmen or the most gentleman businessmen in the country, when his hotel was not making profit for more than a year, the easiest option available, which is there in the law, it is there in the law that if your organization is not working, you can give layoff to the employee. That means that you can reduce their salary to the 50% for 45 days. And if 45 days, after 45 days also, if your organization is not working, then you can remove those employees. And it is, as per law, it is 100% legal. It is mentioned in the Factories Act 1948. But he was a gentleman. He was a person that not a single employee was removed from the services, and the entire staff was paid full salary by sitting at home. That was called as personality. Not only the employees, just think how great a person can be. Not only the staff of the company was paid fully, but he also took care of the family of the hawkers who used to do their business outside the hotel. आप सोचिए 10, 50, 100 जो फेरी वाले बाहर रहते थे होटल के, जो छोटा छोटा बिजनेस करते थे, अब होटल बंद है तो इन लोगों का बिजनेस भी टोटल बंद हो गया. इन लोगों को ढूंढ ढूंढ के इनकी फैमिली को भी फाइनेंशियल हेल्प की गई. That is, we can say, that are the signs of great personality. And that is how why it is called as that the one of the best company to work is Tata Group of companies, and why it is. And one point which I just missed is when this case study was conducted by various B schools, not only the topmost B schools of the world, but IIMs of India had also conducted case studies, and the results were we can say surprising, that how these people are trained, how the employees of the hotel were trained, how the employees were hired. So they were hired on the basis of their family background. The employees of the hotel, and the requirements were what? That the person should be from middle class family. His family check was conducted by the company, and still the thing is in practice when we talk about the Taj group of hotels, and it is there in the case studies. This is conclusion of the case, and it is also at the time of interviews, it is often checked how the person is behaving during the interview. It is also checked that how the person was brought up in the family, how his or her upbringing was. All these things are checked. The culture of the family is checked, and on that basis the person is selected in Taj group of hotels. And that was the findings of various case studies conducted by various B schools. And that was one of the reasons why the guests were rescued first instead of the employee themselves. So these were some of the points related to the determinants of personality. What's the time now? मेरी आवाज आप तक आ रही है?
7:58.
7:55 sir.
अच्छा, नहीं तो मुझे ऐसा पता चला कि मैं 1 घंटे तक स्टोरी सुना रहा था और सामने किसी को सुनाई नहीं दे रहा था. ऐसा नहीं ना? सबको सुनाई दिया?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes sir.
Thank you. Yes. So now we will only 2 minutes are remaining.
5 minutes. sir.
Acha, we will not be able to complete this. Okay, still we will try to. So attributes of personality. What are the various features of personality that we will be discussing? Under that, we will be talking about locus of control, Machiavellianism. Then we will talk about self-monitoring. Then we will talk about type A and type B personality. Then we will talk about the narcissism, and we will talk about risk-taking propensity. These are some of the attributes of personality, or that we will be discussing. First one is locus of control. Now, locus of control means how much control you are having over your personality. In simple words, we can say there are 2 types of locus of control. One is called as internal locus of control. The other one is called as external locus of control. In internal locus of control, people believe I am in charge of my life. I can control my destiny. This is the person who believes in internal locus of control. Whereas the person who believes in external locus of control, they believe others are in charge of my life. My fate is in others' hand. So internal locus of control जिसके पास है, ये we are talking about the features और attributes of personality. कि पर्सनैलिटी कैसे हम लोग पहचान सकते हैं, कैसे एक दूसरे की पर्सनैलिटी अलग होती है. तो these are some of the features. So कुछ लोग ऐसा सोचते हैं हम लोग बचपन से सुनते हैं ना कि किस्मत क्या है, किस्मत हमारे हाथों में है, हम लोग मेहनत करके अपनी किस्मत बदल सकते हैं, हमारी तकदीर बदल सकते हैं। ऐसे कुछ लोग होते हैं जो बहुत हार्ड वर्क करते हैं और पूरी कोशिश करते हैं कि अपनी किस्मत को वो बदल सके, क्योंकि उन्हें ऐसा लगता है कि मेरी किस्मत मेरे हाथ में है। मैं अगर हार्डवर्क करूंगा, मैं अगर कंसिस्टेंटली हार्डवर्क करूंगा, तो डेफिनेटली मैं अपनी किस्मत को बदल सकता हूं। दीज टाइप ऑफ पीपल आर कॉल्ड एज पीपल हु आर हैविंग इंटरनल लोकस ऑफ कंट्रोल। अब दूसरे टाइप के लोग भी होते हैं दुनिया में, और वो क्या है, वो एक्सटर्नल लोकस ऑफ कंट्रोल वाले लोग। वो क्या सोचते हैं, दे बिलीव others are in charge of my life, my fate is in the others hand. अब जो इंटरनल लोकस ऑफ कंट्रोल वाला है, सपोज एक स्टूडेंट है जिसकी पर्सनालिटी इंटर लोकस ऑफ कंट्रोल कंट्रोल्ड है। अब वो स्टूडेंट इंटरव्यू के लिए जाता है, 3 दिन पहले he gets a call, he gets an email that on so and so date at so and so time your interview will be there. So he is having 3 days in his hand. So that student who believes in internal locus of control, who believes that my destiny is in my hand, I can change my destiny, that student prepares very well. He tries to get as much information about the company, about the competitor, about the product, about the role and responsibility for which he will be appearing for the interview, because he is having internal locus of control in his personality. So that student prepares very well before appearing for the interview. Now again, in the same class, another student is there, Mr. B. Now Mr. B, he believes in external locus of control, that kismat or destiny is not in my hand. It is controlled by somebody else. It can be God or it can be somebody else. मेरी किस्मत में लिख दिया गया है। जब मेरी किस्मत मेरे हाथ में नहीं है, तो 3 दिन पहले मुझे क्या जरूरत है इतनी मेहनत करने की। मेरी किस्मत में जॉब होगा तो जॉब मुझे मिलेगा, अगर मेरी किस्मत में जॉब नहीं हुआ तो मैं कितना भी मेहनत कर लूं, वो जॉब मुझे नहीं मिलेगा। ये थिंकिंग क्यों है? क्योंकि इसकी पर्सनैलिटी कैसी है? External locus of control. The person believes right from the beginning that my fate is not controlled by me. My fate is controlled by somebody else. If somebody else is controlling my fate, why should I spend my 3 days entire for preparing hard for that particular interview? If the job is there in my fate, if it is there in my destiny, then I'm going to get the job. It is fixed because it is written in the destiny. And if it is not there, no matter how hard I try to gather the information about the role and responsibility, about the product, about the company, about the competitor, I'm not going to get that job. So these 2 types of personalities are there. One is internal locus of control, the other one is external locus of control. Now, Machiavellianism, that I think that we have crossed the limit, so we will stop here. In the next session, we will try to complete the other attribute also. We thought that we will be able to start with the 2 important systems, or we can say 2 important terms or concepts, that transactional analysis, or it is often called as TA, and the other one was what was the other concept? Johari window. Johari window. So please come prepared. These 2 concepts are very interesting. If you come prepared, if there are more question and answer, then you will also enjoy, we will also enjoy, right? So if offline classes was there or could be there, then we normally have a role play. And to make the lecture more interesting, if these type of concepts are to be taught, then we often use the concept of role play also. That through role play, it becomes easier to make you understand these concepts. But as it is very difficult to conduct role plays or to have role plays in online session, if you come prepared, at least we will have a strong discussion that what is TA, how these transactions are analysis, how it is implemented in the organization, everything we can discuss. Only thing required is please come prepared. The more you discuss in the class, the more you discuss in the session, the more you will enjoy, the more we will enjoy, and the more you will learn, which will definitely be beneficial for you when you will start working in an organization. We are not talking about OB related to exam point of view. We are talking beyond that, because when you will be working in an organization, you should be able to implement certain concepts, and that will be, if you know that implementation, definitely it will give you a added advantage over others, right? So thank you everyone for joining today's session. In the next session, we will try to complete these remaining points. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.